The Awakening Within. We have mentioned the basics of the real Jedi or Jedi, and we have reported the true force in ancient and Ethet cultures. Now this is a teaching to the few who are able to know and find a meaning or interpretation as all this is. The many global terms have a Jedi in text twice in Egypt as masters of the Force, the Ki or Ankh. It is saif that the last time the Jedi or alike rose in success was millennia ago. The name or translation asks like a department of the Demi-Divinist Council after the God's ages. Like the Bennu, the Jedi rise from the ashes of the fall. The fall was more than the Jedi, but it is from these events that many think we come at the end. The cycle is nearly complete, yet Gaia asked the light nobility of stability in harmonic order. The aspects of Mate and Anu, the 7 pillars or principles, are updated for today's world. A honor to interpret as legend writers did with their ancient stories. Before, a path has been built for some to guide others. But there is an awakening in the few, as it was with I, and the other 8, and, as its prime, I tell and share the teachings of the Order, and the guardians old and new to future ones. The world calls few to order to harmonize the unbalanced earth. Gaia speaks from its core. A similar unrecognized awakening is in India as Kundalini Nirvana's myth. This is the call to the path. The new Jedi are in balance within universal law. It is a time that has no guides and needs one. The human mind has to worship something, has to have its attention directed to something it values above all else. For most people, it is their ego. For some it is their family, their clan, their god, or their nation. For it would be nous, the ancient Greek word for mind or intelligence. Nous is a force that permeates the universe, creating meaning and order. The human mind is naturally attracted to this order. Find the optimal balance of thinking and emotion. We cannot divorce emotions from thinking. The two are completely intertwined. But there is inevitably a dominant factor. Some people, more clearly governed by emotions than others. What we are looking for is the proper ratio and balance, the one that leads to the most effective action. The ancients had an appropriate metaphor for this, the will and its use. The force is our emotional nature continually impelling us to know its will. This force is tremendous energy and power, but without a will it cannot be guided by its force user. It is wild, subject to abuse, and continually. The will is our thinking self. Training and practice. The will holds the tool and guides the force through the user, transforming their powerful energy into something productive. The one without the other is useless. Without the will of that is no directed movement or purpose. Without the force, no energy, no. In most people the attitude's dormant, and the user is weak of its lack of force flow. In some people the force is too strong, the energies fight tightly, and is afraid to occasionally let it free. Both must work together. This means we consider our actions beforehand. We bring as much thinking as possible to a situation before we make a decision. But once we decide what to do, we loosen the reins and enter action with boldness and a spirit of adventure. Instead of being slaves to this energy, we channel it. That is the essence of awakening. An example of this ideal in action: try to maintain a perfect balance between skepticism of abilities and failure to. In this mode, you are skeptical about your own compassion and care of others. You do not accept at face value people's explanations and their application of evidence. You look at the results of their actions, not what they say about their motivations. But if you take this too far, your mind will close itself off from wild ideas, from exciting speculations, from curiosity itself. You want to retain the elasticity of spirit you had as a child, interested in everything, while retaining the hard-nosed need to verify and scrutinize for yourself all ideas and beliefs. The two can coexist. It is a balance that all geniuses possess. Love the limitless wisdom. It is important to not see the path of awakening as something painful and ascetic. In fact, it brings powers that are immensely satisfying and pleasurable, much deeper than the more manic pleasures the world tends to offer us. You have felt this in your own life when absorbed in a project, time flowing by, and experiencing occasional bursts of excitement as you make discoveries or progress in your work. There are other pleasures as well. Being able to tame the emotional self leads to an overall calmness and clarity. In this state of mind, you are less consumed by petty conflicts and considerations. Your actions are more effective, which also leads to less turmoil. You have the immense satisfaction of mastering yourself in a deep way. You have more mental space to be creative. You feel more in control. Knowing all of this, it will become easier to motivate yourself to develop this power. In this sense, you are following the path of warrior. We envisioned the Jedi embodying all of the practical powers of balance, worshipped and beloved of Goddess Mate. As all others, we may no longer venerate the goddess as a deity, but we can appreciate on a deep level all of those who promote rationality in our own world, and we can seek to internalize their power as much as we can. The new awakening has come to the attention, or we have demanded attention of the many to share what we are given. Many speak badly about a name, a term, a prophecy. We are the very same yet different from what you know. We are rising. We have always been here. For years or millennia we have found our ways in many older groups. We bring a new hope, and those who fear it, fear us, and know not Sith they were never rivals of us. We come to show the forces and always was natural and free. But you may have lost your connection or forgotten the old ways. Lucas told a hidden secret and showed the fictional representation of a very real and genuine ancient knowledge that was considered too much for the many, who wanted its power for themselves. You seen the fall, but it was not ours alone, yet their truths are withheld even by science. Soon you will learn and understand what the saga means for yourself. To know yourself is to accept your path to freedom. By way of Anu's text, the universal law as governed by Thoth and Mate was still misunderstood but by the few. They are telling this story now, in their interpretation a truth so shocking it will be your world and reality to know the real mystery when revealed. I am the primary teacher of this new order.